Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me again. I'm sorry I didn't have a video yesterday. I was really busy. My husband and I, we went to the countryside. We were traveling. We were at the airport. It was a crazy day. By the time I got home, it was midnight. I was absolutely shattered and I hadn't filmed a video. So I'm filming now, so I hope that's okay with you. I'm going to have another video tomorrow, so I stop messing up my schedule because I'm going to lose my space, my spot in the algorithms, because I'm confusing YouTube right now. So today's Wednesday, I have a video. Tomorrow's Thursday, I'll have another video, and then I'll have another video on Saturday as usual. Okay, so in today's video, it's another bait video. I'm really excited about this one. This is a Birkin in the 30 centimeter size in a very unique leather in a competitive US location, a very unique location that I haven't heard a lot about, so I was really excited about this one. And yeah, in a really nice neutral color. I can't wait to tell you about it. So let's get started. The ratio was 1.6 to 1, and this was a first offer, and it took about a year to get this offer. But there is a piece of bait that was purchased that kind of accelerated the offer as usual. So we're going to go through the bait list, we're going to chat about it, and then we're going to chat about some other bits and pieces, because a lot of you are freaking out thinking that there's an Hermes apocalypse coming. So we're going to chat about the potential Hermes apocalypse. I do have an Hermes apocalypse video as well I'm working on, so we'll chat about that in a minute. Okay, so these are the things that were bought in order to secure this really beautiful Birkin. By the way, I feel like I want a Birkin when I go to Paris. I feel like I'm going to ask one as well. Oran sandals, a non-quota bag, a very desirable non-quota bag, an Evelyn, a Kelly belt, a mosaic platinum cup, perfumes, 2 twillies, blankets, a sterling silver chain, a bracelet, loafers, Kypros sandals, a cap, a really beautiful watch with diamonds in the 24 millimeter size, a Twilane cardigan, a Rodeo touch, and espadrilles. Okay, so these were all of the things that were purchased. When I was speaking to my subscriber, by the way, thank you, darling, for sending this to me. God bless you for that. When we were chatting about it, she said that she got the offer 3 months after buying the diamond watch. I get, comments all the time from you guys. I get them in my comments. I get DMs about it all the time. Like, well, again, how come this person didn't buy a diamond watch, but everyone who watches your channel is buying diamonds and fine jewelry? I was like, guess what? People who watch my channel have Birkins, Kellys, and Constances. Mic drop. Okay, I can't speak for other people who may be making it seem like they're not spending money. I posted this joke in the group. I think many people in the group got it, and the joke was like people who are like, oh my god guys, I didn't spend any money, and then when you go on their Instagram, they have like boxes and boxes and boxes of Hermes shopping, like tons and tons and tons of boxes. People are spending money. So this idea that like people are not buying fine jewelry and diamond watches except people like on the internet, and just because influencers say so, isn't true. If you buy a diamond watch, if you buy a piece of diamond fine jewelry, it is going to accelerate your offer. It is. Big H is very serious about her wig in terms of watches and fine jewelry. And honestly, Big H is arrogant. Big H, boo boo. She sees herself up there with Cartier and Van Cleef & Arpels and Chopard. Okay, Hermes honey, she believes in herself, and they want you guys to believe in them too by buying stuff. She got the offer literally 3 months after buying the diamond watch, like the watch with diamonds in it. Like how much more do you guys want from me? Okay, this is a 2022 offer. It was a really beautiful offer. I remember when she sent it to me, I was like, whoa, really beautiful. I was like, oh my god, you have to take it. Really beautiful. I would take it. Okay, and you know me, I'm not like massive on neutrals, but if I was offered what she was offered, I would definitely take this as well. So very beautiful, stunning offer, and really worth it. So a few things, like I said, the diamond watch in the 24mm is the star of the show. It is the crown jewel of the show. This is what got her to get the bag. There is no doubt about it. This is what accelerated it. However, there's some other things that she purchased that I think really helped her profile. So for example, here she buys the sterling silver chain bracelet. You know, we've talked about how it's always better to choose gold over silver, but if you like silver, silver is still gonna look good because it is still part of fine jewelry, so it still looks good. She also got the Evelyn non-quota bag. I think that they do like to see you buying those like non-quota pieces because I think it shows loyalty. In the US, by the way, I forgot to say that this is a location in the US. In the US, non-quota bags are counted in most boutiques as part of the total. However, in almost every other country, like Australia, non-quota bags don't count. I'm pretty sure in most countries in Europe, they don't really count towards your spend to qualify for the quota bag. And I have it on good authority that in most of the boutiques in France, they don't really count either, but they do count in the US. And that's just one of the quirks of big H shopping. Some things make total sense. They definitely don't count in pretty much all of the boutiques in Asia. Non-quota bags do not count, but in the US they count, so we're going to count it because they do count in America. So with everything, as I said, all of the things that she purchased, it was 1.6 to 1. Honestly, 1.6 to 1 sounds good to me right now. Honestly, 1.6 to 1, I think to some people that might sound like a lot, but it really isn't a lot. There are people who are spending a ton of money in very competitive boutiques in the US who are going 2 to 1, 2.5 to 1, 3 to 1, and getting offers. She got her first offer for 1.6 to 1, including an Evelyn non-quota bag. To me, that is a very, very, very good trajectory. As we all know, the first offer is always the easiest one. They like to do that to hook people in, but she got a really beautiful offer in the Birkin 30 size, as I said, a Cellier, you know, great offer, and what's not to love about it? So I think the fact that she got, you know, she had a wide range of things that she had purchased. So she purchased a lot of shoes, she's purchased loafers, lots of homewares, twillies, the diamond watch, and she got a rodeo touch. That's nice, that's unique. And she also had a ready-to-wear piece because she did buy the Twilane cardigan. So the thing that we need to learn here is I think the way she shopped was really great because she genuinely was buying things that she liked, but she was really doing what, you know, remember what I said, you buy the things you like in the categories that they prioritize. And I do think that Big H is making an effort to make things look much better than they were. You know, we always crack jokes about Big H's prêt-à-porter. We laugh about it all the time. It is starting to look a bit better. I've been seeing some people have been posting Hermes shopping vlogs. It's starting to improve. It's starting to look good. So I'm sure this Twilane cardigan is really nice and looks really good. It sounds great. So when she told me about it, I did Google it. It looks very nice. I think like I said, again, just I know you guys don't like me talking about this all the time, but the diamond watch, honey, the diamond watch is literally what sets sail for this bag. And I've said it before, I will say it again, honey. It's like Helen of Troy when that armada literally set sail to get her back. This is what released the armada of this handbag and got her the bag. The diamond watch really accelerated and probably leapfrogged her against other clients who are shopping. Imagine you're shopping at a local Big H that is very competitive. Some of you don't shop in places that are competitive, so you're going to go one-to-one, you're going to wait for your bag, you're going to get your bag offer. Some of you are in competitive locations. In a competitive location, you really do need to be looking at fine jewelry, ideally with diamonds, but it doesn't have to be. She does have some sterling silver here, which is fine, but ideally you'll be looking at fine jewelry with diamonds, okay, watches with diamonds, the ladies' watches. You should also be looking at the men's watches. You should be looking at women's and men's ready-to-wear. And then finally, if you can, and if it's feasible, look to furniture. I do think furniture is the new frontier for Big H shopping. And I think, for example, if you're watching this in, you know, maybe you're like me, you have a company, but you also have a home office. So I have my office, and then I have this space here, which is like I said, my ladyless / home office slash fitting room. Maybe a piece of furniture for your private space in your home. Maybe a piece of furniture for your lady lair, or maybe a piece of furniture for your home office, or maybe two pieces of furniture for your actual office where you work. And I know a lot of you do work for yourselves and you are working from home, so maybe a piece of furniture for the sitting room, like a nice piece of furniture that you could just put in there. So I think it's worth looking to that. The furniture is really expensive, and it's almost like a running joke here. I always say that they look like rocks, they look like boulders. I mean, honestly, they look Flintstone rock hard. I don't think Betty, okay, Wilma, Fred, or Barney would sit on their furniture because it looks rock hard. But I'm cracking jokes because at the end of the day, it's obviously handmade. I'm sure it's very beautiful, and I'm sure it's nice as well. So I think it's just worth checking out those categories. I say it all the time. People fight me all of the time. But at the end of the day, I am not wrong, okay? Watches and fine jewelry really do change the game. I would love to know what you think about this bait list. Before we go any further, please consider fully subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and joining me below on my socials. I'm active on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I would love to see you in my Facebook group, so please join. It's linked below. I feel like if you love Hermes, you'll love the group. There's so many people who love Hermes in the group, so go join. It's linked below. So again, I think this is a fantastic bait list. Thank you so much to my subscriber for sharing it with me. Whenever I get these bait lists, they always make me think in detail, and they always get me thinking, you know. And one of the things that I was thinking about when I saw this is just, again, the power of watches. I mean, they really want to be taken seriously with watches. So I think if you are waiting for an offer and you can, I definitely think going ahead and buying one of their watches is nice. I know some of you are going to be like, I'm waiting on a Rolex, I'm waiting on an AP, I'm waiting on a Patek. Get the Hermes watch, and then get the Rolex or the AP or the Patek. Just get them anyway. Okay, that way you have them, and then you also have your bag offer. So I think that would be really good. So I'd love to know what you guys think about this offer. What do you guys think about these videos? Are they helpful? Do you like them? I hope that you guys find them interesting. I will always find bait interesting because I find it so fascinating, like what people spend in order to get their offers. So yeah, just absolutely love hearing everything as usual. Okay, so just super quick before I go, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Hermes apocalypse. Okay, and that is my term because I've been watching a lot of post-apocalyptic films at the moment, the past few days, and I was thinking, like, what would be like a luxury apocalyptic situation? I was like, which brand is so vulnerable to a potential apocalypse in the luxury market? Absolutely Big H. Big H is vulnerable, honey. If there is like an apocalypse, Big H is the one who is vulnerable for sure. The reason why I think this is because I feel like because of the game and the pre-spend with the luxury Big H games, you really do feel like, I don't know, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people feel like they have to play the game in order to get the offer. But what would happen if, you know, if things change in the world market, in the world economy? So a lot of you have been sending me messages and leaving comments talking about like a potential, you know, economic recession worldwide, a crash, a bust, whatever. I see these things all the time because I have to read like business content and business news from my company because I need to know what's going on business-wise. And I do see these comments like all of the time. So I thought it could be fun to kind of just address something because I get so many messages from you guys and comments, so I thought it'd be interesting to address it as well. I think that, like, basically, I don't feel like we're ever going to see a time like 2008 again. I was, like, at uni when 2008 happened. 2008 was an act of God, crazy, force majeure moment. I don't think we're going to see all of the world's economies crashing and tanking like that, in my opinion. And believe it or not, there's some people who were not affected in 2008. Everyone has a different financial foundation and different things that they're doing in their personal lives. I've told you before, I don't really like it when, like, particularly when luxury influencers tell you how to afford luxury and how I afford luxury. I've already told you I don't like that because I've said and I'll say it again, it's very disingenuous to say that you don't get your hair done or you don't do your nails so that you can save to buy a Birkin. That is just nonsense. We all know it. I'm gonna stand up and be the unfiltered me. I haven't been as unfiltered lately, but let me just keep it Gucci and keep it real. It has nothing to do with saving or cutting back on other things so that you can put that towards a Birkin or a Kelly. That is absolute nonsense. It's about income and making a lot of money. If you have a high income for whatever reason, you're a businessman or a businesswoman, you have lots of investments, you've inherited money, or you have a really, really good corporate job, you can therefore afford to shop at Hermes. You know, and I've said this before many times, I don't think it's about that. It really annoys me when people make it seem like people can save their way to a Birkin or a Kelly or a Constance. It has nothing to do with that. It's about your income. You either have a lot of money and you earn quite a bit, or you're very good with your investments, or you've inherited money. There are many ways to get there, but at the end of the day, all roads lead to Damascus. So how will a potential like economic downturn affect shopping at Big H? Well, this is what I think. Okay, I think generally speaking, Big H is the most vulnerable to an economic downturn out of the big three, out of Chanel, Louis Vuitton, and Hermes. First of all, because Hermes doesn't release as many collections as Chanel or Louis Vuitton, believe it or not, I know so many of you are like, oh, these luxury brands, particularly Chanel and Hermes, are like fast fashion now. They just like constantly release like collections. We don't have time to like enjoy the collections. That's actually really good, because what Louis Vuitton and Chanel understand is not every single collection is going to have people buying from every single collection. So Louis Vuitton just had the Stardust. Some of you purchased from the Sunrise Pastel collection, but you didn't buy Stardust. Well, guess what? LV have released a new capsule collection called Broderie Anglaise, which literally means like English embroidery. And that has come out, and those bags are absolutely beautiful. They release a lot of collections because they want to appeal to lots of people who have high amounts of disposable income. Big H doesn't really release that much. Frankly, I don't think Big H even has a cruise collection, because when I was like looking through all of the cruise collections recently, the other day I was looking at Moschino's cruise collection, which I love, by the way. I was thinking the other day when I was looking through the Moschino cruise collection, I was like, wait, does Big H even have a cruise collection? I don't think that they do. They should probably consider correcting that and creating a cruise collection. So because Big H don't release as many collections each year compared to, say, Louis Vuitton and Chanel, they're actually more vulnerable because they don't have that much new stuff, which therefore attracts newer clients. I know a lot of you think that everyone, you know, wants Big H's quality and whatever. I've said it before and I will say it again. Quality isn't the be all and end all for everyone who shops at Big H. Definitely not me. That does not factor into why I like Hermes. And the other day I was thinking about why I like Hermes. Most people will say they like Hermes because the quality is so amazing and handmade stuff. I don't care about that. Tanzania, honey, some of the best handmade artisans are from my country and live right here, okay? I have that literally, I can access that. If I want something handmade with an artisanal feel, I can access that here. I like Big H for two reasons specifically. One, I think they make really beautiful exotics. Love their exotics, love, love, love. Number two, I like the more original, unique takes on their classics. I'm not a huge fan of classic bags. I don't like the Chanel classic flap. There are a lot of classic bags that I personally do not like, but I like fun new interpretations of classic pieces. So for example, the Shadow Birkin, love that, you know? The Kelly Pochette is a cool take on a clutch and a small Kelly bag. I love that. I'm sorry, there's a lot of traffic outside. I don't know what's going on, so apologies for that. But I think that those are the things that I like about Hermes. So some of you like the fact that they look very classic, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, not all of us care about the sort of like artisanal classic vibe. Now, in light of that, I feel like because Hermes doesn't release as much stuff, they end up kind of only targeting one segment of the fashion market, being people who just want to see the things that look really classic and beautiful and artisanal, but you don't really end up like attracting that many new people because you're not creating a lot of new product. And I know a lot of you might not like that. That is a very unpopular opinion, but it is a business thing. The more new product you release, the more interest and passion and excitement that people have for your products at the end of the day. But if you're not releasing products often, you just end up it can kind of become a little bit stale. They are doing some, I think they have been making changes. I feel like that autumn winter 2022 collection that I loved, I loved it so much, I even previewed it and showed it on my channel. I felt like that was a change for them. It was fun, it was fresh, it was different, it was stylish, it was modern, it was cool and edgy. I was like, whoa, okay, 1837, honey, where's your boring wig? Because this looks amazing. So I think in a downturn or in an economic downturn, like brands like Chanel and Louis Vuitton will still be able to compete because at the end of the day, come what may, they still have to release all of their collections. Gucci would also be quite vulnerable to an economic downturn because the designer of Gucci has said how he didn't constantly want to be making tons and tons and tons of collections every year, but they do a lot of collabs. Well, okay, that's fine, but Gucci's like product output isn't as high as Louis Vuitton or Chanel's. And frankly, I think Gucci has the brand value that could easily sustain a lot of collabs and collections in the traditional sense. And by the way, I still think that Gucci had the best cruise collection out of all of the brands this year. And then I would say Louis Vuitton's was number 2. So I think in an economic downturn, Big H is very vulnerable. Brands like Big H are vulnerable. Brands like Gucci are vulnerable. Brands like Chanel and Louis Vuitton are not vulnerable because they just create so much product, so they can reach just so many more people who like luxury, as opposed to Gucci and Hermes, who really do have a set kind of client base that they don't really stray across. Believe it or not, Hermes and Gucci have a lot more in common than one would think. Now, but saying that, I still think Big H is still more susceptible. However, some of you were like telling me privately that you feel like Big H, like, you know, would really struggle and whatever. I don't think that Big H would really struggle per se. Everyone would struggle in an economic downturn because people make different decisions. But generally speaking, in a boom time, if someone has very high income, and assuming that they have a solid financial foundation and are doing and are very good with money, that person is going to continue spending because they have the financial income, keyword here, income, to support shopping at luxury brands. And that's why I was always telling you guys, it has nothing to do with saving or not going to get a haircut and not drinking coffees and not buying lipsticks and all the rest of it. It's really about your income. I don't feel like that person would necessarily stop buying bait, but I don't think that in an economic downturn, I don't think that Big H frankly would require people to do massive spending, even in a very competitive location, because they would understand that, okay, there's an economic downturn, people are not going to be as willing to buy as much bait as before. And I do think in an economic downturn, we'll see what happened in 2020 with C19. There was that period of time where Big H worldwide, honey, she was giving out those bags, okay, like they were M&Ms. Like you walked in and asked one, you were given one. The doors closed. I do think in an economic downturn, we'd see something similar like that. We would see Hermes say, okay, you know what, there's a downturn, maybe we're not getting as much foot traffic as we used to. If someone comes in asking for a Birkin, Kelly or Constance, you know, we'll ask them to buy Orans or buy a few Twillies, and then we'll offer them a bag. I do think we'd see something like that. But again, I don't feel like, I don't know, I just don't see how like an economic downturn would bring like the end of these luxury brands. Some of these brands have really been through tough times, and they have seen those tough times out. You know, Chanel, World Wars, you know, Louis Vuitton, the founder dying. That's something else that we don't really talk about. Like when the founder of the house passes away, or the founder of any business, when that person passes away, that can really be a test of faith for the company. Like, can the company survive without the driving force of the brand being there? Hermes has proved, yes, Thierry Hermes, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gabrielle Coco Chanel. Yeah, and even in Chanel's case, that's much more recent because Gabrielle Coco Chanel passed away, I believe, in 1971. Karl Lagerfeld started working in 1983, and then, you know, he passed on in 2019. Chanel has had her tests, honey, when it pertains to the founder of the house and one of the most iconic symbols of the house, which was Karl Lagerfeld. He didn't found the house, but he definitely played a massive role in the success of the brand. So I feel like in light of that, I just feel like luxury brands in many ways are like are very, very, very competitive, and they know how to compete when times are lean and it's tough. They know what to do. I don't necessarily think that Hermes would like struggle really hard, but I don't think that we would have like the kind of bait required. I don't see them requiring you to do like a ton of pre-spend, if any at all. Maybe it depends on the location, but I feel like in a competitive location, pre-spend will probably end up going down, particularly for the larger bags anyway. The pre-spend isn't as high, but it would end up going down as well. So there's a lot of fear mongering right now about the economy and about price increases, and all luxury brands are going to lose people. Luxury brands are still going to wake up every day, put their wigs on, honey, and they're still going to go to work and open their shops and make money. I don't see this like catastrophic end of the luxury market in this like Armageddon, like apocalyptic way. That is not what I see for luxury brands, just because they have been through it before. They've been through downturns and they've been through like really, really tough times. I mean, my God, Chanel and the World War and World War II. I mean, like that is not a joke, you know, like conflicts and things like that. So I don't foresee it's like really affecting them in that kind of way, like the way maybe it affected Chanel in like World War II, but definitely like in an economic downturn, the people who are casual big H shoppers and aficionados won't be shopping there as much. And maybe people who, if your financial situation changes, or if something like happens and then you're like, you know what, I'm no longer going to be shopping at Hermes right now because my situation isn't good, like that kind of person might be like, okay, I'm going to take a break from Hermes. But someone who has high income and has a great financial situation, that person can still keep shopping at Hermes, but they just need to make that decision whether they want to or not. So I find it very interesting. I think it's really important for all of us to acknowledge, like, as well, for example, like for me, you know, I live in a developing country. It's always tough here. It's always boom and bust here. So some of you live in, you know, Western countries where your economies have always been great. Our economies here are, you know, growing, but it's definitely a country, particularly my country, that has a very big wealth gap. So the people who have those massive gaps of wealth, like the people who are very, very wealthy and affluent, and then the people who really don't have much, like you really do see that a lot here, more so than maybe you would in the West. And I think that for me and for the people who are similar to me, who watch my videos, we know that it's always a tough time anyway in a lot of developing countries for lots of people. So we acknowledge our privilege. So I acknowledge my privilege because I absolutely have it. In any case, like me saying, oh, I want to go to Johannesburg and I'm going to go to Paris and I'm going to go here and I'm going to do all these trips and buy luxuries and all the rest of it. No one needs these things. You don't need them. They're nice, fun, you know, they're nice fun things to have, but we don't need them. So I definitely acknowledge my privilege, and I urge all of you who are watching to acknowledge your privilege as well, because most people right now are not thinking about, you know, trying to score at Hermes or buying a Birkin, you know, 25, or buying a Kelly Bichette. Like right now, I'm really obsessed with the idea of scoring like a Kelly Bichette in Paris or a Birkin Cellier. I'd love to get, I think, a Kelly Bichette or a Birkin Cellier. I'd love to get those two. Now, that's not an important thing, and it's not something that I need, but hopefully I will be successful. So I think the better way to look at the sort of potential Hermes apocalypse is think about your personal situation. Would you still be interested in shopping at Hermes if there was an economic downturn? Like, what would you do in your situation? In my case, like, for me, if anything crazy happened economically, I would absolutely honor my loyalty to my team. And even through tough times that have happened previously when my country has gone through like economic downturns, because in my country we've had several downturns since I've lived here, and I always made sure that I kept everyone working with me, and always made sure that I paid them and everything, because that's important to me. Like, I think every person would have to think about like what's important to them and as to whether they still want to shop at Hermes. But for me, as long as God gives me health and I can continue to work, I will always be interested in going to Paris and being in the game, which is what I call it. Are you in the game or not? Meaning, are you still shopping at Hermes? So yeah, of course, you know, I'd always be interested, but we don't have a crystal ball. So I think the best way to do it, guys, is just enjoy luxury shopping. If you can afford to shop, do it. If you like shopping, do it. If you're going to go to Paris like me, let me know when you're going. So I'd love to know how your trip is going to go. I'm so excited for my upcoming trips. Don't like live in fear of fear mongering, because anyone who's shopping from Hermes or Chanel already has their finances sorted and organized. So you don't need to like necessarily worry about that. And maybe there's some people who are shopping from big Haitian who don't have their finances organized. Well, those people have to kind of figure out what they need to do. We're all adults here. And that's why I always say, like, I feel like with shopping at these luxury brands, a lot of people, because of the resale market, people do feel like, well, I'm going to buy that and then I'm going to sell it. You know, in a downturn, I definitely don't see like Birkins or Kellys or Constances having really that much value in a downturn, because the people who would have that money to buy it resale can just go to the boutique and presumably buy it brand new. So I think just be aware that there are lots of things that could happen in a potential downturn. I'm just answering some of your questions and comments because I've been getting these comments a lot. For me, it's business as usual. I will always post about luxury for as long as you want to watch my videos, and as long as I'm physically healthy and able, I will continue to post about luxury because I find it interesting, and I'm always in the game in some shape or form. Like, I can't pretend. Like the other day I was looking at, you know, croc Kelly pochettes, and I'm sitting here thinking, what's my chance in Paris of being offered a croc Kelly pochette? Like, you know, those are not real problems, okay? Real problems are things that are happening in the world, and there are many types of things that are happening. So just always make sure to remember that. If you're in a position where you can play the Hermes game, you're already better off than many other people, okay? Because I think sometimes, like, whenever we talk about Hermes, people end up forgetting that. Okay, so I've kind of gone on for a little bit too long there. I hope that I made sense. I hope I, you know, made sense to all of you. If you like these bait videos, please let me know, and please consider fully subscribing to my channel, hitting notifications, and liking this video. Would you like to see more baits? I do have some more bait videos if you're interested in seeing them. But don't worry about the Hermes apocalypse. What will be will be. Live your life, be happy, and yeah, just keep doing you, and obviously keep watching this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in my next video.